let me ask you that last question I asked Pat about how does this make you feel personally that the sport that you spent your whole life in now has a home and identity in your city, that it's back here now at its highest level?
I think. Well, I think I've been part of this game for so long, and when we played in the North American Soccer League years ago, we just kind of, I think at that time we thought it would take off, and for various reasons, it didn't. So when I see the MLS, when it started back in '94, the corporate sponsorship they had, the base organization of the teams, I just hoped back then that St. Louis would have got a team. But now that I see what the MLS has done now over the last 10 or so years, I'm very impressed. The organization that St. Louis has here, I'm totally wrapped up now and looking forward to seeing some MLS games in St. Louis.
Why are you and Pat and Steve so confident that in this already sports saturated city that we can get 22 to 24,000 a game?
Well, I see it in other cities, which we thought for a long time were not really as soccer cities as St. Louis is. We see it in Kansas City. I just think the base here in St. Louis has grown to such an extent. The women playing now, all the girls teams that you see. You can turn on television on a Saturday morning. It gets 6 games on television at various channels. I just think the popularity of the sport is now so important that I think we're going to have a lot of sellouts.
Do you think the sport, it's already immensely popular with youth, all these select teams all over. You think it's going to even explode more because these kids will see these guys actually playing?
There's no doubt about it. I think that the identity of the players when they hit St. Louis, and St. Louis will have its success, I think, in the league. And I think when that happens and players start identifying with the players in the MLS that play in St. Louis, there's no doubt about it.
How about you and Pat kind of connected at the hip, although 5 years apart? You can't say kind of one without the other. Even the same grade school.
Yeah, we go back a long time. We've like I said earlier, I kind of tagged along with Pat and my older brother. They were on very successful teams, not only soccer teams, baseball teams. And my dad was one of the coaches for many years. And I just tagged along and followed along. Growing up in a neighborhood that was basically a soccer neighborhood, it was great for friendships that we still have.
My reaction was, I was very, very happy. I think it was a bit anticlimactic because I think everybody knew that, that there was the likelihood of us being awarded a franchise was there. So although it was anticlimactic, I was very, very happy because, I think the area will certainly support an MLS franchise.
Tell me about that why, because you're talking 22 to 24,000, and there's Blues, Cardinals, Spring. Why do you think it's going to click?
Yeah, Frank, I think when I played, the 10 years I played with the Stars, we never did have a venue. We never had a place where it was soccer specific. We played out of WashU. WashU was 63, 64 yards wide. It was not conducive to playing really good soccer. And we would flip-flop between the stadium and WashU. And the stadium, no matter how the people were seated, you could never get the fans close enough to where they really felt a part of the game. And I think with a soccer-specific stadium, with the design that we see, it's just going to be fantastic. We look at other MLS cities that have stadiums of this type, and they're selling out. And I think St. Louis is, certainly going to be on board.
How about the youth being, like the millennials being so key? I haven't been to many MLS games in person, but I hear it's all about that age bracket now in the crowds.
Yeah, I really think the fan base, it's so much different, and it's so much broader than what it was back then, maybe even 20, 25 years ago. The fan base is tremendous. I think what we have seen, the girls playing, the women playing, the success of the women's national team, hey, that just adds to the base that we have for fans. And I think as far as back when I was growing up, there was still, we were Catholic, the CYC, and, that is gone. I just think we appeal, the sport appeals to so many more people now, and it has a broader range, and I think we've got a great fan base.
Well, what does it mean to you in this regard? You and Al are the two greatest soccer players we've ever had from our town. To have your sport back in town at the highest possible level, what does that mean to you personally?
Well, yeah, I can, I look at the season that the Blues had, and I look at Bob Plager and what that meant to him. And I think at least I had that feeling that, hey, here St. Louis is back in it again, and I think we have a chance to really show what we can do. I am not all that familiar with the league as far as hey, the players and that type of thing, as far as the Americanization. I think it's a lot further along than when we were playing, but hey, I would still like to see some of that.